Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Brian's Mobile One.
Hey, buddy. Welcome to Wildcard Wednesday. This one's going to be real short. This is the filter that goes for the 5.9 and the 6.7 liter Cummins engines. If you look on the back of the box, I mean, it's very specific. It's got the Cummins symbol indicating that it's recommended for that particular engine. So this filter comes with instructions in two places. There's a lot of questions on my last video that I did about a really quick, awesome trick for doing this particular application. The instructions, there's only 6 steps. It's not hard. And yet...
1, 2, 5. Lisa, 3.
The first step is to wipe off everything on the top. Get rid of any contamination, anything that could fall into the filter. You want to get all cleaned up before you, of course, you take the filter off already. Then you take some oil and you apply it with your finger. Then you screw it on. Once you get it to kind of bottom out, you tighten it an additional 3/4 turn, and then you fill the crankcase with oil with this in place. Check it on the dipstick, and that's it. There's no extra steps. You don't pour oil into the filter. You just put a little bit on the gasket and spread it around. That's all you do. We'll look at the instructions that are on the filter. They're really thorough. Just make sure you do it right. What? Repetition works. It's mantra.
5 is right out. Once the number 3, being the 3rd number, be reached, then lobbest thou thy holy hand grenade of Antioch towards thy foe.
Wipe all the crud off so nothing falls into the filter. The whole point of a filter is to separate all the junk and the debris, keep it out of the engine so that you don't have any problems with your oil journals or anything getting backed up. So same thing, wipe it off, no contaminants here. Put a little on the gasket so that the tightness, the torque's right. And then also you're using fresh oil so that it'll come off and won't be stuck for the next guy. Also it keeps the gasket from binding, like I said in the video. Screw the filter on till it just bottoms out, tighten it 3/4 turn, and then put oil in it, and then check your dipstick. What are these that you see on the side here? It's got a bunch of markings like that. These are marked at 1/4 turn intervals. So it's kind of like a road map. So just like it says on the instruction, tighten an additional 3/4 turn. If you're at C, that's where we're at, and we want to stop at D for a 3/4 turn. There's 1/4, 2/4 or a half, 3/4, bam, we're at D. If we're at D, we stop at A. You go D, C, B, A. So that's what all of this is about. I mean, this whole thing is idiot proof, but people still, I guess people still mess it up. There's nowhere on here that it says pour oil into the filter to pre-fill it. The reason why you don't do that, just like you're trying to get rid of crud so that contamination doesn't fall in the filter, this is the input of the filter, this is the output. This is filtered oil going into the engine. So if you pour oil into that and there's plastic in the bottle or some whatever, it's going to fall in there. Oil pools here and it goes mostly in the output. So you're bypassing the filter when you do that. That's why they don't recommend it. If you're a big company like Cummins, you don't want to have the legal liability. If you're a YouTube video producer like me, you don't want to have the liability of telling people to, basically bypass everything in the system that has been designed specifically so that crap doesn't get in here and you're pouring oil in there. So do you make fun of people if they do that? No. Can people get away with doing that for years? Yeah. Could it potentially cause a problem or harm? Yes. Is it necessary to do that extra step of putting oil in there? No, it's not. So there's no need to throw anybody under the bus over it, but you really don't need to be doing that. Just a quick video on the instructions, the credibility. I talked to one of the guys at Mopar, and I asked him about it. He's an engineer that actually writes instructions for stuff like this. And I said, hey, am I missing something? Should I be pre-filling this oil filter? And he said, no, I've never written that, and I've never seen that on anything. That's it from the source. Don't pre-fill your oil filters if you don't feel like it. If you feel compelled that you absolutely have to, by all means go ahead and do it, but just bear in mind that you're adding risk and you're not getting any benefit. When I say you're not getting any benefit, everybody's talking about, what about the air gap? What about having it be just dry? Basically, as soon as that engine starts cranking, I mean, like that Perkins engine build that I did. I'll see if I can find the footage for it. I may not be able to on short notice, but found it. Oh, you gotta see this. This is cool. So oil's just pouring all over down the block. I haven't painted this yet. It's making a big old mess. You see I've got oil coming out here and here. Like basically there's oil going all the good places that it should go. That's good, but like I say, it's freaking messy. I shouldn't have bothered to do it. Started to crank it by hand slowly, and it was just totally pumping out all kinds of oil through the engine. It didn't take anything at all for that thing to pressurize. As soon as that engine starts running, I mean at idle, I mean you're at very low RPMs, but you're still cranking out just a tremendous amount of oil, volume of oil. They'll fill this up in no time at all. I heard one person say that you don't have any oil or any lubrication for 10 seconds, and that's just absolutely not true. You have lubrication already present. When you drain the oil, it doesn't all drain out. Your oil journals, your galleys, like everything that are your oil pump still is full of oil when you drain your oil pan. Anybody that's torn down an engine will tell you the same thing. Don't worry about it. You don't have to fill it. You're okay. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for all your support. If you guys want to see any more, I mean, like this, obviously this was a video that needed to be done. If you guys have any other videos that you'd like to request, by all means, leave them in the comments below. Whatever you guys want to see, I'm happy to do it. I'm doing this for you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Cheers.